Hello class, my name is Jacob, and today I'd like to pose a question to you. Have you ever been on an aircraft getting ready to take off and wonder, what type of information is the air traffic controller relaying to the pilot? Well, one of those things that he is relaying to him is what is called a surface weather observation. You may ask yourself, what is a surface weather observation? Well, today I'm going to answer that question for you. Today we are going to look at the weather elements, the time and place the weather observation occurs. We'll also look at the way a weather observation is transmitted, as well as the significance of that weather observation. First, when discussing weather observations, there are many different elements that are taken into consideration. For instance, we first look at the wind direction in speed in knots. Then we evaluate the visibility in statute miles. We then look at the specific weather parameters that may be observing at that time. For instance, rain, fog, smoke, haze, thunderstorms, just for a few examples. We also take into account the temperature and dew point. We take this reading in Celsius as opposed to Fahrenheit, and we can properly calculate the relative humidity using this information. We also look at the sky condition, it being clear, partly cloudy, mostly cloudy, or overcast. We also evaluate the sky condition and see how the relative height is in hundreds of feet or thousands of feet. And then finally, we evaluate and calculate the altimeter setting, which according to the National Weather Service guidelines, surface weather observing, is the parameter at which the altimeter scale is set in order to properly calculate the height at which the aircraft is above mean sea level. Also, according to FAA guidelines, surface weather observing, we look at the greatest rate of change for a weather parameter as far as the weather observation, and we evaluate that weather last due to the great rate of change. For example, if we have an instance of a significant fog event, this could constitute a rapid change in visibilities, and that visibility would then be observed last in the weather observation. Next, we will look at the different types of weather observations, one being a special weather observation and the other being an hourly or METAR observation. Special observation is an observation that occurs at any time a weather threshold is crossed, and that is crossed due to the beginning and ending of precip, a strong wind change or decrease, or increase or decrease in winds. We also look at the significant change in cloud coverage or in cloud height. Or we also look at hazardous weather for taking a special weather observation, that being thunderstorms on station or the observing of a tornado. Hourly observation, or what are referred to as METARs, are taken 5 minutes before the top of the hour and typically set the precedence for what constitutes a special observation for the next hour. Next, we will look at where an observation is taken. This is normally taken on the airfield, on the ground, and during the day, to properly assess the weather, we need about 5 to 10 minutes to look at all significant weather parameters. And this time is only doubled to anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes due to the fact that at night, your eyes need time to adjust in order to be able to see what you're observing. Next, we will look at the transmission of the weather observation. It is disseminated through the Joint Environmental Toolkit. This tool is used to input all weather parameters observed and transmitted via the web to our customers, that being the air traffic controllers, pilots, weather forecasters, or other significant personnel that need that weather information. Finally, the significance of this weather observation, it varies greatly. First, look at the air traffic controllers use this information to relay to pilots that are taking off and landing. They need to know greatly what the current weather situation is on the airfield in order to be able to navigate any incoming weather when they take off. Also, other weather forecasters, observers view this weather observation and adjust forecasts or observations as needed. And finally, we look at this weather observation being used to initialize and verify the National Weather Service's global forecast model, which is used on a daily basis, and this information is plugged into that global forecast model. So today we went over the different elements that constitute a surface weather observation, the time and place the weather observation occurs, the transmission of a surface weather observation, and the significance of a weather observation. I hope this brief has been informative, and I hope everyone has a very nice night. Thank you very much.